the first thing that I want to tell everybody is you're not alone. Like, this past year was an absolute shit show. 2020 sucked for all of us. Coronavirus sucked for all of us. And I just want to I want to give the world a hug.
You're not gonna be going quiet. Got it on autopilot, automatic, stuck louder than all your bias. We on top, give you my word, you hold them by it. Hold the rise, letting the army that's behind them remind them that
I'll show you who I am, unbreakable.
COVID-19 has done a number on our company. Back as all of the shutdowns were happening and when things were starting to really kind of show its face, we closed our storefront.
We knew that we weren't going to be able to float 2 or 3 months worth of rent payments without being able to have customers in our store. So luckily we were able to close down. Our landlord was gracious enough, he let us out of our lease.
We had put all of our eggs, or most of our eggs, into our retail location. That's where my husband and I worked. That's where we were filling orders. We had done some manufacturing there as well. So we hadn't really put too much in the online. We had just kind of started getting into it, but then COVID happened. And when we shut our store, we had to make a giant pivot into e-commerce. And it wasn't something that my husband and I had done before. It was brand new to us, so we kind of hit the ground running.
Our typical customer is 50 plus, and those weren't the customers that typically buy online. However, when the shutdown happened, they were forced to learn how to do that.
So COVID-19 affected InnovateHer KC in very few ways, actually. We were very fortunate. A lot of what we were already doing was virtual.
Because Mixtape is an app and I licensed the physical deck, we haven't really seen a lot of impact from COVID-19.
COVID-19 has had a big impact on our company. We were lucky enough to only lose probably 7 or 8% of our revenue, and then since then have grown back. You know, some of our customers are growing because of it, but then some of them are out of business because of it. So overall, we've done okay with it and are continuing to grow now.
COVID-19 has drastically affected Marknology. I believe we were already on the path to success and being a stable company, but it just accelerated customers across the world being comfortable buying online. And in doing so, the brands that are selling products online or not selling products online became more comfortable with Amazon, really thinking of Amazon as an insurance policy instead of a risk for their business.
COVID-19 affected Fullscale in the short term. It had some negative repercussions. We had a lot of our clients immediately retract the size of their development teams out of precaution and wanting to protect their own bottom line. In the long term, COVID-19 is probably going to benefit Fullscale. Our employees came to our office every day in Cebu, and since then, they have not. In the end, it's really going to do us a favor by distributing our model and making it easier for us to scale without being so reliant on real estate and in-person everything.
COVID changed everything for us. We were doing in-person interviews prior to COVID happening, and that was really cool. I got to meet people, shake hands, build that relationship. And then when COVID happened, we couldn't do that anymore, so we had to make a change, a digital change.
It was really unfortunate for us. One of our main things with our company is community education and community engagement. We are a family-friendly company, so having people come in and ask us questions and talk to us about what is CBD, what is the difference between CBD and THC, that was a staple of how we ran our business. So having that pulled away from us, it was really hard. So transitioning into that e-commerce platform, we knew we still wanted to have that community engagement and be able to talk to our customers.
That's when we kind of made the pivot to doing what we call the milkman delivery, and we'll deliver orders within 10 miles of our location, which is where the bulk of our customers were.
We have a chat function on our website, and instead of getting a random person sitting in a chat center, you get Kyle and I. And our customers love that because they know they're talking directly to the people they were talking to before in the store.
So obviously this year was weird because of the virus, and we actually had this job got pushed back 6 or more months, we had to find a tweener job, which I call an in-between job that we get on really quick to kind of keep things afloat, keep everybody working. And then finally, we were able to get on this job 6 months behind schedule, which pushed all of our other jobs 6 months or more. And so I did have to call everybody and break the bad news. We do have people, waiting to get a house built, in line sort of thing.
Yeah, and not only did it push us back, but our material supply chain has really been messed up, as you know.
Yeah.
A lot of the products that go into houses are not from here, as in the United States. There are all kinds of products from all over international places.
Special order windows are 17 weeks out, which normally they are 3. So that throws a huge wrench into the timing of a job. And right now, lumber is up 41%. Like the framing of this house costs 41% more than it would have 6 months ago.
A return to normal will affect our business. Well, it already has affected our business. And even though normal isn't fully in effect for everyone, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And here in the United States, once we started vaccinating people, I think it sent such a positive sign to the economy in general. And our phones started ringing. And quite honestly, it hasn't stopped ringing.
This is our new normal. This is it. Our new normal is online and e-commerce. We have no desire to open up a retail location again. Honestly, COVID was kind of the best thing that could have happened to our business. We cut our overhead by 85% when we got out of our retail store and finally became profitable as a company.
It'll be really, really great to be able to go out and see people again. I mean, at our core, we're community builders. We're an ecosystem building organization. And so it's really, really weird to not be able to go out, go to events, see people, meet people.
When COVID wasn't around, there were a lot of people who had thought about starting a podcast, maybe, but they had busy lives, and so they didn't really get into it. And so our podcast had a nice incline. When COVID hit, there was a huge amount of people who had a lot of extra time. So the number of podcasts that got started went up. When everything gets back to some sort of semi-normal, I expect a lot of those podcasts to kind of fade out and disappear. So I look forward to the change in a positive way. And plus, I can't wait to get things back to normal so we can have some more everyday lives.
As we return to the ability to be around people, we'll have a couple days a week where we'll go to the new office where we can collaborate and meet with each other. But overall, we'll still be doing some remote work. Why? Because why not?
All right, a little heads up about Christmas weekend. So we planned on having some family functions, of course, and it looks like it's not going to pan out. Apparently, we got some close family members that have come down with COVID, and so we are going to isolate. In the meantime, I found a new app to chop up some content pieces. Look at that, from one extreme to the other. Like that's how my mind works. I don't know what to say. I got family that definitely is sick, and I hope for the best, but I have zero control over that. I can provide meals, I can provide support, I can provide whatever other things that we're gonna do for them during this time. But in my mind, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong for thinking this way, I have no idea, it's just the way my mind thinks. In my mind, I'm not focusing my attention on what I can't control. I'm only focusing my attention on what I can.
Woke up to my warehouse manager and pretty much the one-stop shop guy for my warehouse testing positive for COVID today. So, have to figure out how to get my staff safe, get everything cleaned. Obviously, you saw my day, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30. So in between there, I need to coordinate with my team and handle any of the warehouse stuff. We have 3 pallets going out today. So my backup to him is working from home with his kids today. So I've got a bit of a problem. But the team's on it. We're figuring it out. We're just going to get 4 or 5 people from the team to get these pallets out. I'm going to try to handle this next call I have at 12. It's with a new client I'm actually pumped about. But it's hard to stay focused. You know, I need to be in sales killer mode, and yet I've got problems right now that need my immediate attention. What do you do? That's the question of the day.
People being vaccinated in general does actually have a big effect on our business. It'll let us actually feel comfortable going to the office safely. Now, while we moved our stuff into our office, our new office, or soon to be new office in Kansas City, Kansas, the building wasn't ready yet. And we've done a lot of stuff to set up, and the construction's just began, but we'll be moving into there soon. So all of that timing worked out well for us, but in the end, the main effect is going to be being around each other again.
It's been a really, really long year, and we miss people, and we miss hugging, and we miss family, and we miss celebrations, and we miss going to, I really miss going to see live music, all of these things. But please, please, please get vaccinated. It will be hugely impactful for my business, your business, Joe Schmo's business down the street. Just being able to go back to unfettered life.
When people are becoming more vaccinated, it seems that the country is a lot more apt to open up. And a lot of the really fun things about our industry, like trade shows and events, are going to start coming back around. So we can kind of start getting back out in front of people. And that's how Kyle and I have fun. I mean, that's how we really get to interact with our customers. And it's something that is at the core of our business. And being able to do it face-to-face is so much better than doing it via YouTube. So that is one thing I'm looking forward to with the vaccinations.
Another effect of vaccinations is our ability to do business development activities like we used to. So we have a suite at a local venue that does sports and concerts, and we used to do events that we call Sweet and Greet, and we would invite entrepreneurs, investors, and influencers to come and enjoy a night on the town, basically. And we met a lot of great people. They met a lot of other great people. And while at one point we were doing so much of that, it had burnt me out. And that was in 2019. In 2020, we barely did any of it. Now I miss it. So it was fun and entertaining, and I'm looking forward to getting back around people in that regard again.
Did COVID change your industry or affect it in any way? Not really. Honestly, I would say at the very beginning of COVID, though, we did have a pretty large uptick in sales, and I think that had a lot to do with people's anxiety. You know, CBD has been known to help with anxiety and just kind of like agitations, and so when people are stuck at home all day and like with their kids or their spouse or anybody else that lives in their house that you don't want to be around 24/7, I think CBD kind of helped take the edge off for some folks. And so we definitely saw some uptick in sales over that.
One major effect that the pandemic had on our industry, and meaning, so technically Full Scale is in the outsourcing or offshoring business, in that we provide services for United States companies, but we do it with people that are outside of the United States. Now, prior to the pandemic, one of the biggest objections that we would get from local customers or clients or prospects is, well, we would like our team to all be in the same room. Pandemic made that impossible. So a lot of companies in the technology industry, they adapted and they pivoted and they changed and they went all remote. And overall, people got better at Zoom and communication and just all of it. So what that did was it leveled the playing field in many regards. Companies that were so insistent on having in-office and local only, they changed their tune. So a few months into the pandemic, we started getting calls back from potential clients and people we talked to in the past that weren't for the model that we had and had a change of heart. So overall, it's had a really positive effect on our business and our outlook, and also the way that just businesses in the tech industry in general approach staffing and team building.
I think that it's accelerated e-commerce's growth overall by probably 5 to 10 years.
I mean, the way we communicate is different now. Everybody's making content, whether they call it content creation or they call it networking or they call it, calling grandma, whatever you want to call it. We're all creating content in a different way. So it has drastically shaped it. What the direction is going forward, we have yet to see. But I look forward to being a part of it.
We on top, give my word, you hold them by it, hold the rise, letting the army that's behind them remind them that I am